Hey everyone, I'm Dave with Disney A to Z, and today we're taking a walking tour of one of Walt Disney World's most unique moderate resorts, Disney's Coronado Springs. This resort blends Mexican and American Southwest influences with a relaxing lakeside atmosphere. And it also happens to be the first Disney resort I ever worked at back when I was a cast member, so this one's a little special for me. From the impressive Gran Destino Tower to the colorful original sections, great dining, and one of the coolest pools on property, Coronado Springs really stands out in the moderate category. So whether you're here to relax, attend a convention, or just want to see if this resort fits your next Disney vacation, we're going to walk the whole resort, show you where everything is, and then wrap up with a few helpful pros and cons and a quick review. So let's head in and take a look around Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. Our tour kicks off at Gran Destino Tower, the stunning entrance and check-in area for Disney's Coronado Springs. As soon as you step inside, it's clear this isn't your typical moderate resort. The lobby has a refined, upscale feel with a sleek, modern design blended with Spanish-inspired details. So think intricate tile work, bold patterns, and some really beautiful lighting fixtures. Now, this is a split-level lobby, and it's kind of reminiscent more of a deluxe lobby than a moderate lobby. And we have the check-in desk on the upper floor where friendly cast members are always ready to assist and help get your stay started. And there's always plenty of comfortable seating throughout this area and windows overlooking Lago Dorado. That's the large lake at the center of the resort. It's really an impressive space and sets the tone for what makes Coronado Springs feel a little more upscale than your typical moderate resort. And downstairs, you'll find more lounge space, and tucked against the back wall here is the Barcelona Lounge, a stylish bar and coffee spot that adds to the deluxe vibe of the tower. With its polished design, dramatic architecture, and sweeping views of Lago Dorado just beyond the windows, Gran Destino Tower really sets the tone for Coronado Springs, offering a resort experience that feels more luxurious than what you'd usually expect from a moderate. From Gran Destino Tower, we're heading down the long interior hallway that connects over to El Centro, one of the main areas of Coronado Springs. Now, the hallway's nice and air-conditioned with large windows looking out over Lago Dorado. It's a relaxing walk and a great way to move through the resort without stepping outside, which is especially helpful during those hot Florida afternoons. Now we're entering El Centro, what used to be the main lobby of Coronado Springs, the original check-in area before Gran Destino Tower was added. While it's no longer used for guest check-in, this space still feels like a grand entrance. The tall ceilings, the warm lighting, the subtle Mexican-American theming give it a classic Disney resort feel. Straight ahead, we're going to come up to this beautiful central fountain. It's a signature feature that really anchors this part of the resort, surrounded by tile flooring, archways, and soft background music that adds to that peaceful vibe. So this hub serves as a central connector to several key areas of El Centro. So just behind us was the original check-in in the hallway to Gran Destino. And then we have Panchitos off to one side, and then down the other hallway we're going to go to some of the other dining options here at Coronado Springs. Even though the main action has shifted over to Gran Destino, El Centro still plays a key role in how this resort flows, and it remains a nice spot to stop, relax, and take in some of the resort's original charm. Next up is Panchitos, the main gift shop here at Coronado Springs, located just off that hub in El Centro. This is actually where I used to work back in my cast member days. The costume back then, bright royal blue pants, crisp white shirt, and some bold Mexican-inspired accents. It's definitely a look you couldn't miss, and a look I'm never gonna forget. But inside the shop, you'll find a variety of Disney merchandise, from apparel and pins to plush and resort-branded items. There's always a section in back with snacks, drinks, and travel essentials, just in case you need something on the go. And if you're looking for a familiar face, Panchito himself is still right out front. Just a little nod to the shop's namesake. And right next door, kind of off to the side here, unfortunately it's closed while we're here, is Rick's Cafe, a grab-and-go spot with coffee, pastries, quick bites. perfect for mornings when you're in a rush to catch the bus or, headed off to the parks. It's a convenient stop whether you're browsing for merchandise, grabbing a snack, or just enjoying a little air conditioning on your way through El Centro. So down the hallway past Panchitos, we're going to come to a split here, and we're going to hang a left. And once we did make this left, we have 2 dining options on either side. First, we're going to explore Rick's Sports Bar and Grill, and this place might just surprise you. It's more than your typical sports bar. This space is modern and sleek with plenty of TVs, lounge-style lighting, and a solid amount of seating, whether you're here for a game or just grabbing a bite. I actually ate here during this trip, just went with a classic burger. It was good, nothing that totally blew me away, but definitely a solid, satisfying option if you're looking for something quick and easy without having to leave the resort. I also tried one of their specialty drinks, the jalapeno margarita. Now, this had some really nice flavor and a fun twist if you're into spicy cocktails. Just be ready for a serious little kick on the back end. That heat definitely sneaks up on you. But anyway, so Rick's does not require a reservation, and it's usually pretty easy to walk in. I walked in, solo and was able to be seated right away. It's a nice casual option that works for everything from lunch and dinner to a late night drink after the parks. Now, directly across from Rick's, you'll find El Mercado de Coronado, the resort's main quick service dining location. It's a large open food court style space with high ceilings, a ton of seating as well, and several food stations offering a solid variety of choices throughout the day. In the morning, you're going to find classic breakfast options like Mickey waffles and platters, and later in the day, the menu's going to shift to things like burgers, tacos, salads, and some other casual favorites. There's also a bakery case with desserts and pastries, plus a grab-and-go section for snacks and bottled drinks. It's a convenient spot for a quick meal, especially if you're headed out to the parks or just getting back and you don't feel like doing a full sit-down table service dinner. Before we go exploring more of El Centro, I just want to make mention that if you head down this hallway here between Rick's and El Mercado, you'll find the resort's convention center. This is actually one of the largest convention spaces on Disney property, and it hosts everything from business meetings and expos to large corporate gatherings throughout the year. Also within the convention center area, there's a business center. Convenient spot for printing, shipping, and other services, especially useful for guests attending events, but also if you have purchased too many souvenirs and you need to ship some stuff home, they can take care of that here as well. But because of the convention center, Coronado Springs does have a slightly different feel than other resorts. You'll often see a mix of vacationers and business travelers, especially during weekdays or major events. Now, before we head outside, there's one more spot we're going to check out inside El Centro, and that's Maya Grill, the resort's table service restaurant. It's located just past El Mercado down the hallway here toward the far end of the main building. The space is warm and inviting, has soft lighting, stone accents, and decor inspired by ancient Maya architecture. Unfortunately, I did not have a reservation, so I can't really show much inside, but the Maya Grill does offer a Tex-Mex inspired menu with dishes like fajitas, tacos, and a few hearty entrees, plus a decent selection of margaritas and cocktails. Now, it's a table service experience, so you do want to make a reservation ahead of time if you're planning on dining here during your stay. It's not the most talked about restaurant on property, but if you're staying at Coronado and want a relaxing sit-down meal without heading out of the resort, it's a solid option. All right, now we're stepping outside and we're going to make our way across the bridge that stretches over Lago Dorado, the lake at the heart of the Coronado Springs Resort. Now, as we pan around here, you'll see this whole area is just stunning, especially right now at sunset. Everything takes on this warm golden glow, and the reflection of the resort buildings on the water make for some really spectacular views. So whether you're taking a quiet walk or just snapping a few photos, these bridges are one of the best spots to just slow down and really enjoy the atmosphere of this resort. Now, right in the middle of the lake is Villa del Lago, a central island that connects kind of all parts of all the different sections of the resort, and it's home to one of the true hidden gems here, the Three Bridges Bar and Grill. Now, this is an open air restaurant that kind of sits right on the water, and it's one of the most relaxing dining experiences you'll find at a moderate resort. There's no indoor seating, it's just covered tables, the twinkling string lights, and incredible views in every direction. The menu here, it's a mix of some small plates and entrees with Spanish and like Latin American flavors. Think like corn dip, pork tacos, and some burgers that have a little twist to it. They also have a great cocktail menu here, and the whole vibe here is just calm, breezy, and totally laid back. It's a perfect place to unwind after a day in the parks, and since it's first come, first serve, you don't need a reservation, but the earlier you get here, the better. Now, after taking in those lakeside views, we're going to head across the bridge over to the Casitas section. It's the first of the 3 sections that we're going to explore here at Coronado Springs. Now, this section has more of an urban upscale feel with architecture inspired by some Spanish-style city homes. As we walk through, you'll notice we got fountains, some nice courtyards, decorative tile work throughout. It really gives it a refined and polished atmosphere compared to some of the other sections. Now the buildings here, they are closer together with some winding walkways that make this section feel compact, but also elegant and easy to navigate. If you're staying in the Casitas, you're also the closest to the convention center and some of the main amenities over in El Centro, which makes it a convenient choice if you're planning to spend time over in the main hub. Now, the Casitas also has its own quiet pool, and it's a good one. It's tucked away within the buildings, kind of surrounded by palm trees and greenery, and it rarely feels crowded. There's plenty of seating all around, a few shaded loungers, and a peaceful vibe that just makes it perfect for taking in a midday break or, even winding down in the evening. So if you're looking for a relaxing spot without the hustle of the main pool, this quiet pool is definitely worth checking out. Now we're going to head back across that same bridge to explore one of the best parts of Coronado Springs, the dig site, the resort's main pool and recreation area. As we walk in the path here, the first thing you're going to notice on my left is the sand volleyball court. Great spot to unwind and get a friendly game going in the evenings. Adds a little bit of energy to this already fun-focused part of the resort. Just next to that is Siesta's Cantina, the poolside bar. It's got a casual tropical vibe and serves up cocktails, frozen drinks, and light snacks. Perfect for a midday break, especially on a hot Florida day. Just beyond that now, we're going to come up to, on the left, the arcade. A fun indoor option with a variety of games for both kids and adults. It's also air conditioned, which makes it a great spot to escape that afternoon heat. And then in the back here is the children's playground. Nice option for kids who aren't quite ready to swim or just tired of swimming and want to burn off a little extra energy. And now finally, we're going to check out the centerpiece of the dig site, the Lost City of Cibola pool. This is hands down one of the best pools at any moderate resort. It's massive, it's beautifully themed, incredibly photogenic, with the towering Mayan pyramid as the backdrop and the water flowing down the stone steps. Absolutely amazing. There's also a 123-foot water slide that winds around the back of the the pyramid. Huge deck with plenty of loungers and umbrellas. An enormous hot tub. It's actually the largest on Disney property. And then over on the far side, there's a small kids splash water zone with fountains and some fun features to keep them cool and entertained. So whether you're swimming, relaxing, or just enjoying the atmosphere, this pool area really stands out as a major selling point for Coronado Springs. The theming, the size, the extra amenities around the dig site kind of make it feel like its own little mini destination within the resort. So now we're going to head out of the dig site, and from here we're going to take the path back around the dig site and make our way into the Ranchos. This is the most remote and also ruggedly themed section of Coronado Springs. This area sits in the far back of the resort, and you're definitely going to feel that distance as you walk, especially if you're heading all the way to El Centro or the Gran Destino Tower. It's a bit of a hike, so if you're planning to spend a lot of time at the front of the resort, it's definitely something to keep in mind. But the theming here is inspired by the American Southwest. So think dry desert landscapes, adobe style buildings, some like gravel along the walkways, natural elements like the cacti, the boulders, some desert grasses. Has a very different vibe than the rest of the resort, but it's also quieter and more secluded with fewer distractions, which some guests really appreciate. It's a peaceful area to walk through, especially in the early morning or in the evening when the lighting adds to the atmosphere. You do also find a quiet pool in this section. It's pretty small and it's tucked away, and because of how far away from everything this area is, it's usually one of the least crowded pools in all of Coronado. Now, while the Ranchos may not be ideal if you want to be close to the dining or the lobby, it is a great pick if you value peace and quiet, or if you want to be pretty close to the dig site, which is just a very short walk away. And now we're going to make our way over to the Cabanas. This is the third and final section of Coronado Springs, and probably the most laid back of the three. This area has a tropical kind of coastal vibe with the palm trees. It's absolutely amazing lake views, and a more relaxed atmosphere overall. It's a really scenic part of the resort, especially along the path here that hugs the edge of Lago Dorado. One of the highlights here is the little beach area along the lake, complete with the hammocks and the lounge chairs. And while it's not a swimming beach, it is a peaceful spot to relax, enjoy the breeze, catch a sunset after a long day. The location of the Cabanas is also a big plus. It's just a short walk to the dig site. It's also pretty close to the Gran Destino Tower. So it makes a great choice for families or anyone planning to spend time at the pool, or wanting to have quick access to Gran Destino and over to El Centro. And just like the other two sections, there's also a quiet pool nestled in this section if you're looking for something more low-key than the dig site. But overall, the Cabanas do strike a great balance. They're peaceful, convenient, and with some of the nicest lakefront views at the resort. So now I'm going to make my way back to Gran Destino Tower, but let's quickly go over a few pros and cons to help you decide if Coronado Springs is going to be the right fit for your next Disney stay. So let's start with the pros. Number one, the Gran Destino Tower has a deluxe feel, and you get it at a moderate price. Between the tower, the landscaping around it, the overall design, Coronado often feels more upscale than some of the other moderates. Number two, the dig site. Personally, it's one of my favorite pools at any Disney resort. The theming with the pyramid and the water coming down, the winding water slide behind it, and then having that largest hot tub on property here, definitely a huge plus. Number three, great dining variety. You have 3 bridges, you have the quick service El Mercado de Coronado, you have Rick's Sports Bar. This place offers plenty of convenient and solid dining options without needing reservations. And then if you do want a reservation, there's also the Maya Grill. So tons of options. And our last pro, number 4, is just the peaceful atmosphere. Despite it being one of the physically larger resorts, this resort feels quiet, relaxing, especially if you're out by the Ranchos, or just walking around the lake. You don't feel like you're crammed in. You don't feel too busy like some of the values or some other resorts on property. But now let's switch over to the cons. So some people view certain pros that could be cons. Our number 1 con is the large layout. So while some may see that as a pro, some may see it as a con. This is a big resort. It's one of the largest and most spread out resorts on property. if you're staying in the Ranchos all the way in the back, you got to be ready for a decent walk to get up to the Maya Grill, get up to the Three Bridges. So there can be a lot of walking done here. Number 2, the convention center. So if you're coming here to vacation and go to Disney, you have to understand that you are sharing this resort with the convention center. Coronado regularly hosts business events, which can kind of affect the atmosphere and the crowd depending on when you're visiting. And number 3, Coronado has kind of limited Disney theming. Now, don't get me wrong, it is beautifully designed, but it doesn't have an over-the-top amount of characters or intellectual property all up in your face here at the resort. So if that's something that you're looking for, you may want to look into other options. So that's going to wrap up our tour of the Coronado Springs Resort. So whether you're here for a conference, a family vacation, or just looking for a resort that offers a little more without having to jump to a deluxe, Coronado has a lot to offer. From the stunning lakeside views and the relaxing pool areas to some truly unique dining and just an overall peaceful atmosphere. I think Coronado Springs is one of the most underrated resorts at Walt Disney World. The Gran Destino Tower gives you a deluxe level feel. The pool is top tier, and the layout offers something for every kind of traveler. Whether you want to be in the middle of the action, in the Casitas, closer to everything, or if you want to be back in the Ranchos, kind of tucked away in a quiet corner. It's not perfect, but it balances value and experience in a way that really works. If you've stayed here before, I'd love to hear what you think of the resort. Drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite part of Coronado is. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more resort tours. I also do ride POVs, park walkthroughs, and vacation planning tips from all over Walt Disney World. So once again, I'm Dave with Disney A to Z. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon.